Here live, we're in the VIP section. It's going to be packed here later on, and we're right amongst it all. And we've got the Southern Arena right behind us. To my right, Rod Costa, welcome. Exciting
Thanks,
day one.
Exciting day one, an absolute ripper. What a great day it was. But day two is going to be even better because today is our Trans-Tasman Test Day. Australia versus New Zealand. Bring it on.
And you're the latest talent down here. We had phone calls all night from a number of media outlets wanting your services after your commentary yesterday. Welcome, Frank.
I can't match you at all there, Aaron. I cannot match you, but thanks for that, Aaron. Look, it was a great day yesterday. Enjoyed myself. Bit sorry about a bit of the language that came over during the early parts. But
it wasn't any of us. It wasn't.
Druzy was the man. But anyway, looking forward to today. I reckon today, you look at the beach at the moment, the swells drop down a bit. There's no wind. And already in the early events we've seen some carnage, a little bit of stuff happening, and I reckon it's just going to be one of those special days in our sport.
I can just see Sonia Heath from the Torquay team taking a cruise shot from Australia. The Trans-Tasman is on today. It was scheduled for about 15 minutes time. There is a delay in the start, which means you're going to be stuck with us for the next hour. We're going to be kicking off the opening ceremony at about 10:15 and racing starts at 10:30. These events can't really happen without the volunteers that we have, Rod, and especially the officials that have been doing it day in and day out for a number of years.
Yeah, Aaron, they're marvellous, really, aren't they? You know, you come over the hill there this morning and it's just on daybreak, and all the boys are in the water. There's rubber ducks everywhere. The infrastructure's enormous. The Shellharbour club here have been absolutely fantastic. But the officials, the announcers, the recorders, the judges, no, we couldn't run it without them.
And we've obviously got some great support here from Floodlight. Do you just want to touch on the technology that has been introduced this season, really? Everything that we can see around. We've got GoPros with manual antennas. We've got the finish line technology. It's pretty exciting stuff.
Well, who would have thought 20 years ago when this event virtually took off that you'd have the sort of technology we've got today. In those days, you had to write down all the races on a bit of paper and run up and down the hills. You'd go to the line and you'd have blokes arguing like there's no tomorrow. Today, you can visualise every stroke going out there and you can see the whole lot. Look, it's been sensational. The new starting system where the starters and the guns going off. And in the wind, half the field wouldn't hear the gun. But now, with the camera, with the technology of the lights, and you've got a hooter, by God, you can hear that damn hooter. And the line technology, well, you know, last night what happened there was magnificent.
Seen it in the open men's yesterday in the interstates. We had 4 boats on the one wave. The top 2 boats would have been within about 100 to 200 mil. And the most exciting part, I think, in here is we have a GoPro mounted on a camera, and that's actually going to be live streamed while the racing's on. That's never happened before in surfboat racing either, Rod. It's just great for the viewer at home.
Yeah, we're going to bring you all the action, everything we can with all our modern technology via live streaming all over the world. And gee, we hope you enjoyed it.
We had a father watching yesterday from Africa, and his son was in the Torquay team in the interstates. It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, look, as I said, it's just the world we live in today. We're global, aren't we? And our sport is going all over into Europe. You know, the World Championships are in Holland, and they've got surfboat crews in some countries that don't even have water. How's that work?
Time will tell. That's obviously
race up and down the dikes.
That's in September later in the year. We've just been handed the technology here. So this is thanks to Nathan Perry's helmet. But you can see, if you do a bit of a close-up, that the boys from Floodlight have put in a bit of a manual transmitter and antenna, so that can be live streamed and beamed back to that. There you go. Does that look good on your head? There you go. You can put it on.
I'm back in the surf.
Back in the boat.
Look at that.
Oh, look at that, Frank. You used to do a bit of sweeping. Hey,
that'll be live streamed throughout the Trans-Tasman, straight back to your phone, laptop, whatever you're watching on at home. Just while you are having a look at that, we'll talk about the volunteers from the Shellharbour Surf Club and obviously Cancel that Frank, you've dealt with as well. They're tremendous support for this event.
Oh, look, I've been involved with this event, running it for 6 years now, and over the last, we had a really good time for 3 years in Stockton, and we came to Shellharbour, we looked at the club and we thought this is the place. Last year, what they went through was just unbelievable with the conditions, and they stuck to their guns. And now, this year, what they've done with the committee here, the people here, it's just been sensational getting it up and running. How the hell yesterday, you would walk away from the beach at 5:30, which the event's supposed to finish 6 o'clock. We had massive amount of races. The competitors here walked away. Every competitor on the beach had 5 races, with the exception of the Masters, I've got to say. But some of them aren't capable of 5 races.
Don't say that,
but
Frankie.
5 races, you know, in a single day for a competitor, so he can walk away from saying, hey, I got a fair go.
Yeah.
I got a real fair go, didn't it, Rod?
Yeah, well, they've had an absolute great go, and, you know, they can really feel part of it, because to come all this way, there's crews there all the way from over in Perth, there's crews from up in Darwin, there's crews from the top of Queensland, and to come all this way and have 2 races is just not good enough. So the ASRL have worked very hard in the program, and everyone's getting 5 rounds. So, you know, they're really going to feel a part of it, and that's what we're all about. We're trying to help the racers, try and help the rowers, and let's hope they appreciate it.
We are just going to touch on the program for today. We had a 7:30 a.m. start. We'll just do the full list first. We've got the under-19s, male and female, so it's non-gender specific and female, and that's another initiative by the ASRL to include female under-19s for the first time, Rod. It's taking the steps forward.
Yes, we had the inaugural races this morning of the under-19 girls. I call them the young fillies, and absolutely fantastic. They handled the conditions really well. There was 12 crews, and gee, very proud of them, and I think we're going to see them for a lot of years to come.
Oh, look, Rod, I think I was up in the northern area when they started, and the northern area's got a bit of a swell running on their shorey. And I tell you what, you admire. They're just going out there, and they're getting slammed, and they're just bobbing up and going again. And it's just magnificent.
16-year-old little girls, isn't that great?
Oh, you know, Michael King's daughter, she was in the bow. I said to Michael, you better look after her, mate, because she's going to come. He said, the mother will probably get me if I do anything wrong.
Gentlemen, we do go into the under-23 females that are also on this morning. They will be cut down to X amount of numbers depending on what category they are. And then we got round 1 of the Tasman at approximately 10:30. So make sure you stay around for that. Australia versus New Zealand, Rod, it's exciting stuff for the sport.
Bring it on, bring it on. Gee, there's been some close ones. We did hear earlier this morning how New Zealand have won quite a few of these events in the open women. Australia are stronger in the open men, but it's pretty close over the last 5 years, and yeah, bring it on. It's going to be a beauty. Yeah,
Frank, we're going to cut to some footage shortly from this morning. We've already held a number of interviews and getting that last-minute insight with a number of the teams. But it's a great initiative, and it's good to see the ASRL working closely with Surf Life Saving Australia on this one.
Well, I think, I don't know if you heard, but Michael Clark presented the coach uniforms to the Australian team and spoke about the honour of wearing the baggy cap. He spoke of the honour of representing your country. God, how would you be if you received that from Michael Clark?
Yeah, exactly right.
And how do they feel now, these blokes? And women, it would be just fantastic. And I think one of the greatest things I've seen in this sport has been this development. And you've got to thank Surf Life Saving. Graham Forden, president of the Surf Life Saving, even though he's an old boatie, which is good to see. Yeah. But you know, you see this happening and you think, we are lifesavers, we are really surf lifesavers, and it's a proud day for all Australians, and especially surf lifesavers.
Yeah, there's a bit of emotion down there. They did have the cap presentation before. What we're going to do now is cross over to some footage from this morning. We'll be back shortly. We're going to wrap up the interstates, which was day 1 yesterday, and gee, it was a tight one. We'll be back shortly. Spent a bit of time in Australia so far. What have you gotten up to since your few days here? Has it been all about the preparation?
Yeah, so we've had a couple of rows getting the boat set up and that sort of thing. It's been pretty relaxed. We've had a couple of dinners out, just getting to know the other members of our team. Yeah, it's been good. It's been nice.
Yeah, tell us about the almighty leader in the boat, to be Ricky. He's a bit of a strong horse in the boat, is he? You rely on, obviously, the sweep at all times. You're pretty confident in his skills?
Yeah, absolutely. I trust him completely. He's done it for so many years and he knows exactly what he's talking about. So yeah, I really listen to him, and yeah.
Just tell us about the training that obviously goes into being an elite sportswoman, I guess. Representing your country in any sport is a remarkable achievement. Just tell us about what you have to go through.
Well, people say that it's a sacrifice, but it's a choice. You choose to get up early and go training, or you choose to, not drink every single weekend, that sort of thing. You just got to train hard, and you've got to stay positive and enjoy it.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll let you go. You're not too far away from racing. We're live down here on Shellharbour Beach, and it's back to you, boys.
All right, today's the day, team. So there's been a lot of preparation gone into this. Business day today, we've got a job to do, and I'm sure we'll do that. We've all got our gear. Today's a very special moment. You actually get presented with your cap, competition cap. So we can do that crew by crew. Myself and Greg have had a talk to the sweeps, so we've got some tactical stuff we need to work out straight after this meeting this morning. The most important thing is time has changed, so you'll now be doing the introductions, and the national anthem's at 10:30. Okay, so it's been put back a little bit. So basically what we'll be doing this morning, cap presentation, I'll talk to the sweeps. We'll have a toss of the coin with the New Zealanders, and then you go and prepare yourselves in your own way. It's all about yous now and what we're going to do for Australia. When we line up, we'll get the crew. Make sure you're at this tent at 10:15, ready to go, because we've got to get set. We'll be marching out in our competition gear, singlets, short swimmers, and our racing caps. So look, congratulations. What I'd like to do is introduce Bruce Silman from Turgan. Bruce has been in 2 Australian teams consecutively, which is pretty rare. It's a fantastic effort, and not to mention all his other feats he's done in surf lifesaving, Australian medals, gold medals, and everything else in between. So look, Bruce is fantastic. I was very lucky enough to go away and fortunate enough to go away with Bruce to New Zealand last year. And we had a great time. And Bruce is certainly a legend and a person you can look up to in Australian surf lifesaving and boat rowing. So I've asked Bruce to come along, so thanks Bruce for coming along. So what we'll do is we'll present the caps first to the other 23s, the girls and the boys. So I'll call Greg in now. He can call those names out. Come forward and receive your cap.
Under 23s, Michael Brooks. Catherine Ulrich. Laura Healy.